transition sound. Yeah. The first round of presidential debates were this week, and it was interesting.
That was a shit show,
to say the least. And though the president went in saying he didn't prepare, his performance seemed very deliberate. I know that it didn't gain him any voters, and if any of his supporters were on the fence about him, he basically pushed them off. So I'm stuck wondering, why? I'm Freddie Mancia. This is the Man-splanation. On the debate stage, President Trump talked over, interrupted, and badgered Vice President Joe Biden. But I'm not here to litigate who won the debate.
The verdict is in, and they say that we, all of us, won big last night.
In my day, if you ended up with your makeup running and not being able to land a solid punch, that would usually mean that you lost. But maybe winning the debate wasn't the point here. Maybe Joe Biden wasn't the target. Maybe the target was the moderator, Chris Wallace. Well, the media as a whole.
But the biggest ratings in the history of cable television, it's an honor.
I'm half Bolivian and half Chilean, so I grew up with stories of dictatorships. Yeah, family parties were hit or miss growing up. And my dictator senses have been really going off. Because I know for a democracy to fall, it has to be aided and abetted. Autocracy is a group effort. It takes teamwork. God, now I'm writing copy for them. So his lackeys picking up the media bias talking points doesn't really instill faith in the future of democracy for me.
So the media once said mail-in voting is not ready to scale up in the middle of a pandemic. Now there's no journalistic curiosity when we're finding Trump ballots cast aside. There's no journalistic curiosity when 100,000
I'm asking you where the river is, and you can't give an
were sent out in Brooklyn.
If you say the president meant a ditch,
ballots, and
then say you meant a ditch. I just want to know where the river is.
And lack of journalistic curiosity.
I'm very curious. Where's the river?
Yes.
That's curiosity.
Guys, that whole press conference was like that. And the thing that set off the press secretary was a reporter asking her for clarification about something the president said. Something about a river or a ditch. I don't know. All I know is rivers, lakes, okay. Waterfalls, bad. And this was Senator Cruz's Twitter foreshadowing the press secretary's attack on the press. He's basically saying get rid of Chris Wallace, and he's supposedly on their side. And this was after Senator Cruz was reminded that Trump was the one that called his wife ugly.
President? I'm talking about the president, the one who called you a liar, the one who said your wife was ugly.
But Chris Wallace is not an outlier. Right now, it seems that all of Fox News is turning on the president. So now they are being labeled pseudo-enemies of the state, along with the rest of the media. But surely the president can't think that this strategy is going to work, right? Right. Because he's not playing to win the election. He's playing to win in overtime. According to a Politico article from the end of September, Trump has hired dozens of lawyers from 3 big firms and has readied thousands of volunteer attorneys who can quickly move legal proceedings to contest close results and mail-in votes in key swing states. Now, quote, "In total, it means the Republican Party will have thousands of people on hand to shape every element of voting, both on Election Day and in the days after."
If your neighbors cannot make it down, they're elderly, you help them out. You help. Hey, the Democrats open the door. We have attorneys that have signed up, but we are going to put common people like me and like you to make sure they don't steal our ballot.
Which is why Democrats are not just calling for a win for Joe Biden, but a win that is unmistakably decisive. Because if not, history tells me it's going to be up to the president's party to talk him into a peaceful transition. And I don't know, guys. It really seems like they're looking forward to overtime. Hey, I just wanted to hop on here because while I was editing this episode that you're watching right now, there was breaking news.
It is quite simply that the President of the United States and the First Lady have both tested positive for the coronavirus.
Wow, the president has COVID. Maybe that's why he was so sweaty. You know, I've heard good things about bleach.
Really enjoyed last night's debate with Sleepy Joe. I brought those hats out here because Minnesota's a little on the windy side. And like a genius, I sent them all out and I'm getting blown to pieces, and that's fine. That's okay. I love it. I love you to have whatever we have. We have it together, that I can tell you. The verdict is in, and they say that we, all of us, won big last night. And I don't know, did you hear about this? In the history of cable television, had the highest ratings of any show in the history of cable television. And
binge.